Ayush, should we roll in a minute?
Yeah, we can begin.
Let us know when, yeah?
We are live now.
Okay. All right. Good evening and namaste, everyone. On the occasion of International Day of the Girl Child, under the theme Digital Generation, I welcome you all to witness the amazing girls in STEM and girls who build robots that we have on our panel today, along with the industry expert that will talk about the call to action in the segment and verticals that they are a part of, from nonprofits to governments and various forums. We all strongly believe that girls are leaders, girls are change makers, and girls are driving good growth around the world. They are a fundamental source of transformational change for gender equality, and technology is a crucial tool to support their work, activism, and leadership. The theme for 2021 International Day of the Girl Child is Digital Generation, Our Generation. So we would begin our event today with showcasing the work of girl students in STEM, coding, robotics, the challenges that they have faced, and how they have, arose from these challenges as a successful individual. I will now call upon Ms. Manisha Sawant, Manager, Robotics India, to bring us these bright, young, rising superstars who've worked very hard in the world, in the STEM and robotics field. Over to you, Manisha.
Thank you, Ms. Rajpal. So yes, nowadays we girls grow up hearing we can do anything and we can be anything we want. And yet there is still not enough women in science, technology, engineering, and math to create this equity. So here we have joining us today our young girls who would be sharing their success stories as girls in STEM and girls who build robots. So we have Mr. Nicholas Green from Team Sastry joining us live from Finland, who would introduce us to our first speaker, Miss Livingston. So welcome, Mr. Green.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Greetings to everybody from Finland, greetings from Sastry. I would like to introduce Mrs. Goodness Livingstone. She's a student from Nigeria, a student at the University of Port Harcourt, and a front-end developer. Welcome very much, Ms. Goodness Livingstone.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon from Nigeria. My name is Goodness Livingstone. I'm a student of the University of Port, I'm a Kanta Singh student of the University of Port Harcourt in Nigeria. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my story on the International Day of Girl Child. There's this idea that the STEM career is only for the male gender, and I'm a testament to the fact that it's not. The girl child has equal opportunity, and there are a lot of potential for a girl child in the area of STEM. I used to be of the opinion that it's for the male child, it was only male focused alone, and it affected me greatly. But I'm grateful that I was able to overcome it and become who I am today. Let me share my story briefly. I was one of the top students in my class in high school, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. I didn't have a definite career I was going to or going for. I had like a lot of options, but didn't have anyone in mind to go with. So when it was time to choose my career so I could go to the university, it was a family decision. And for whatever reason at that point, which I couldn't understand, we chose computer science, which I wasn't happy about. Getting started with the course, it was very challenging. Somewhere at the back of my mind, I've already created this mind that it's a course fit for the guys alone. So at that time, it affected my interest. I didn't want to do it. After some point, I met a lady, a girl, which was from a family of programmers. She spoke with me, she motivated me and opened my eyes to further opportunities in this field. I got very motivated. I listened to her story and I decided to start coding, which I started with Python, which she considered was best. I started it using SoloLearn. At the beginning, I enjoyed it. It was fun. But at some point, I got confused. I didn't know what was going on. No matter what I tried to do, I wasn't just getting it. I didn't know why. So I felt frustrated and I felt it was a scary journey. I had in the back of my mind, I was feeling it was a scary journey and a very frustrating one. So I didn't want to go for it. While I was in school, I was just learning and I wasn't growing. So I told myself that I was just going to graduate from school. Then when I'm out of school, I'll discover something I love to do. So I forgot about coding. I didn't want to code anymore because of the frustration. It was time for my internship program, which I did here in Nigeria in a tech firm. When I got there, I saw the lifestyle of the people there and I got excited and it reignited my passion to learn how to code. I've always loved how websites looked and how they were created. So I started to learn web development. I started off with HTML. It was lovely. I liked it. I felt, okay, I've gotten what I wanted. It's going to be an easy ride. So I did HTML. When I got to CSS, I was confused. I was like, am I back to this? But at this point of my confusion, while I was at my IT, I had people around me who were with me daily, and they helped me, they kept me going with their words of encouragement, and with their assistance, they helped fix bugs on my code. At this point, I was convinced that I was going to do front-end development. I had to train myself to understand that getting frustrated while learning was a normal thing, so I should get used to it. Then at that point, when I had the people with me, it was exciting because they assisted me. When I had issues, I went back and they motivated me. So I was fine with it. When I got my first job to work on a website, I was very scared because all I've been practicing since this is the first opportunity for me to implement it. I was scared. I was feeling that I was not going to do it well. My codes will be wrongly made, or there will definitely be a mistake in it. So I got scared. But thankfully, I had a very understanding teacher who helped me overcome these fears. He made me he made me to be motivated to do things which I thought were not possible. Even if things went wrong, I should continue. After some time, I learned my lessons. I've been a person who always looks forward to learn something new. And one thing I feel that have helped me over this period of front-end development, according to my colleagues at work, has been my excitement and eagerness to try out something new every time. I got to learn and understand that winners don't always need motivation, but they need discipline to carry out whatsoever they want to do. So after that, I got to the job and successful. By God's grace, I was successful and it came out perfectly. Now I'm skilled at HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js, which I've been able to use to work on a lot of company websites. I've built games, I've built a chat app, and it has been a very exciting ride. But this doesn't mean that after that time I never felt discouraged. I always felt discouraged. When I got to JavaScript at that time, I questioned my decision in choosing tech because I was like, am I on the right path? The frustration is much, but I was determined. Most nights I stayed up late all night just to understand the concept, but I was determined I wanted to do this because of the people I had, they were my motivation. So I got to understand that we don't always need motivation, but we need to be disciplined. There are a lot of opportunities in tech, a whole lot of them, but alongside there are a lot of challenges. Especially, and the girl child are not really, we have always like been in the mind that it's only for the guys. So there are a lot of opportunities, and every girl child has a potential to achieve whatever they set their hearts to do, and they will definitely achieve it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Livingston, for sharing this inspirational story. Moving on to our next speaker, who is a young, super enthusiastic student from grade 8 who loves coding. She has also given her first interview with the India AI. Welcoming Ms. Anjali Verma. She has made a project on an AI-enabled bot that advises people to stay home and stay safe during COVID. And here is a little glimpse of her project. So I'll just play a video.
Nisha, volume. Manisha, it's missing volume.
No, I'll just...
For those around you, please stand at least 1 meter apart. Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is Anjali. This is my project as a truck type. So it is saying that stay home, stay safe. So see, now I'm going to start my robot.
Stay home, stay safe. 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 Stay home, stay safe.
Okay.
Stay home, stay safe.
Okay, bye bye.
So hello, Anjali, welcome.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. So to begin with, Anjali, we would love to know, what do you want to become when you grow up?
When I will grow up, I have to be the engineering because I also love to do like activities and making and showing our creativity and like imagination. So I will love. I have to, when I will grow up, I have to be the engineering. I have to say.
That's lovely. So how do you think that learning robotics is going to help you achieve your dreams?
In engineering we do the like to show our creativity and also we make the machines for helping our friends and our nature. So by robotics I can help and I will get ideas from younger time only. So it will be helpful for my like when I will do that work. So I will get directly like what are things that I have to help to my nature and what things my friends and my like neighbors need that thing. So like that I can make the so these things can help me. This robotics things can help me in my future.
That's great. And lastly, I would like to ask you, how were you introduced to robotics?
From my side, I will introduce the robot as that the robotics is the opportunity that students get. In robotics, we get the like we can show our creativity and like how we can impress our things that we have to tell. Like I know that in every child's dream there is that they have to become anything and they have to use the robot because I love the robotics is the opportunity that the students get to show their creativity and imagination and show their courage.
That's right. Thank you so much. So this was Anjali from Ahilya Devi Holkar, sponsored by ZS Associates. Thank you, Anjali, for sharing your thoughts, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Well, moving on to our next young speaker, who is Miss Swara Dambay. She's from Mukul Madhav Vidyalaya and is supported by Mukul Madhav Foundation. She's also participated in our Robotics India's Regional Championship 2019. And I do have a small glimpse of her participation video as well, which I will share now.
It has been very good.
So welcome, Swara. That was Swara in the championship 2019, the regional championship. Swara, we would like to know what are your dreams too?
I would like to become a robot engineer when I grow up.
Oh, that's very nice. And we would also like to know, like, what do you like about robotics, and what is that motivated you?
In robotics, we get to do complex coding and we get to learn coding and programming. And that's what I like about robotics.
All right, excellent. All right, so thank you very much, Swara, for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker that we have is Miss Gloria, who is also a software engineer, joining us live all the way from Nigeria. So welcome, Miss Gloria.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be given this opportunity to share my story here. And it was very exciting. I was just smiling throughout seeing the wonderful projects produced by girls of 13 years. Little ones, I wish I had the opportunity earlier, but then still it was something worthwhile. So I'll just give a little story about myself and how I found myself in this career. I studied mechanical engineering. I never studied computer science or software engineering back then in school. Even before going into mechanical engineering, I had my mom was like, why are you doing mechanical engineering? You should do medicine, you should do pharmacy, because I was really good at chemistry. But I was just inclined to the engineering space, though then I never had an idea that I was going to end up in the software field. And when I started university, during my first year in school, I had an opportunity to be part of a boot camp. That was where I was introduced into programming. And coming from a low-income family, I had no laptop then, so it was really difficult. I was excited about the whole idea of programming. I loved what people were doing, but there was no laptop to practice. There was no laptop to do what I wanted to do. So what I normally do then was to, maybe I borrow laptops from friends, or I start writing my codes on paper that will never be compiled. And at the end of the day, it was just the excitement of learning something new that kept pushing me and all that. And then I was opportune to be awarded a scholarship during my third year. And when I received the funds from the scholarship, I got a laptop that I was using to practice the programming. And during my internship, that is my fourth year, I had an opportunity to intern with a software firm where I was trained professionally. And presently, I am a mobile developer. I write Android apps. I can also build desktop applications using C#, WPF, and also I work on back end of web application. I know how to use ASP.NET Core proficiently. And so far, the journey has not been easy. There are a lot of times where I had my down moments. I consider when I was starting out initially, I had imposter syndrome. Like, it was really, really, really terrible for me. When I hear people saying, Gloria, you are doing this, you are doing that, I was scared. I was like, what if I was just deceiving them? What if all what they are saying is not really what I had to offer? What if what they were saying was not who I really am? It was really challenging dealing with that initially, because a lot of people were just hyping what I was able to do. And then being a female, when I went, my present work, where I started, which is my present workplace, I was the only female there. As of then, I was the only female software developer. And then you see people saying, wow, Gloria is the only female software developer, you are doing this. I was really scared. I was like, am I really sure I'm the one doing this? Or people are just saying it because they want to make me feel good? And it took a while after I started seeing the results and I started convincing myself that, yes, this is actually my product. This is what I worked for. This is me doing the fact that I'm female, I actually did this, and it has nothing to do with my gender. It's more of my capability. And then I was able to overcome that and started working more, and then built my self-confidence, working in a male-dominated space before other females started joining in, and we became like up to 3 or 4 females then presently. But still, my advice to those out there, especially the young females coming up, is to be honest. It has nothing to do with the gender. Being in the STEM space, being a programmer, being a robotics engineer, being an engineer generally, being tech savvy has nothing to do with your gender. It's more of what your capability, more of your intelligence. And then if you can just push yourself and go out there, be ready to learn something new. There are times where I had to stay up throughout the night. I stay up for hours trying to read up things, trying to solve problems, trying to bring up better solutions to a particular challenge I'm facing. That has not, then you have this societal things of asking that you're a female, then how are you going to handle your family? You can't stay up this late and then expect to get married. How are you going to handle your children and your husband and all that? But then I'm still trying to let them understand that this has nothing to do with my family. I should be able to manage both if I am given the right opportunity. If I am allowed to do what I love doing, managing my personal life and my professional life should be something that should be as easy as possible and nothing to do with my gender. If the males can handle their family and still handle their profession, why can't we, the females, be given the opportunity to also do that, to push beyond our limits? And also, one of my greatest passion is also reaching out to those in the rural areas, because I feel that that is one of the challenges there. The females are not allowed to explore. Neither after you finish your high school, you go and learn catering, you learn tailoring and others, so that you will be a wife material, as is being said. But then I really hope that with this, I should be able to, maybe by the time I advance in my career and reach a particular stage, I should be able to reach out to those people. I want people to see me as their role model and know that yes, if she can do it, obviously we can do it. And that has been my push. And I believe that someday I will surely get it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Gloria, for sharing your story with us. Our next speaker is from the batch of Build Your First Robot program, Ms. Gayatri Pawar from BT Sahani School, supported by Fiki Flow. She loves to code and program robots. And here is a little glimpse of her line follower robot. So welcome, Gayatri. So Gayatri, yes, we would also like to know what you want to become when you grow up.
I want to become an IAF officer.
That's lovely. And why do you want to learn robotics?
I want to learn robotics because I think that I can also build robots for our future, which can help us.
All right, that's very nice. And what is your most favorite part about robotics?
When we make up robots, when we fix all the parts, after that we do coding, and when our robot works perfectly, that feeling of happiness is very special for us.
Right, I agree. So thank you so much, Gayatri, for sharing your thoughts and your aspirations with us.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you. So before we move on to our next last speaker, I would like to call Mr. Green again to introduce Ms. Sophia to us.
Thank you very much. And from my side as well, thank you to everyone. Great to hear from everyone. Super inspiring stories. But with that said, let me introduce Sophia Abella from Nigeria. She's a student at the University of Port Harcourt. She's a front-end engineer and also a developer, and she's also been doing volunteering in both in UI UX design. So welcome very much, Sophia. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Nicholas. I'm glad to be here. Thank you to Robotics for hosting this event. Thank you, Statistics, for having me here. It's very exciting. One thing I have to add is I am now a graduate of the University of Port Harcourt Entomology. I'll have to update my LinkedIn. Growing up as a child, I'm kind of excited to see all these girls showing their robotic skills because it's something that has been very exciting. As a child, I used to love playing video games. This was something that boys normally do, even to date. I love playing video games. So it was something that made my parents always say, why are you playing video games? You're not supposed to play video games, it's for guys. And at some point, we used to have little issues. But because of my love for gaming, I continued playing. And right now I'm a pro gamer, and I always try to push the incentive for people to play games, to learn how to make games, robots, AI, because I feel that a girl child is not limited to being a girl child or to being in the kitchen. I think it is very important to expose our girl child. As a developer, one of the limitations I had was the fact that the first place I had my IT or where I had to do my internship after my boot camp was very far from my house. I was fortunate enough for my mom, who understands how important it is to let the girl child be a part of society, to let the girl child be able to express herself. She was able to get me a laptop, so I was able to work very freely. But where I had to work at was very far from my house, so I had to squat with some friends, and most of them were guys, and there were just, I think, two girls. So I had to leave my comfort zone because I had the passion to learn how to code, to be able to create new opportunities. I wanted to be able to not just speak about tech, but also know what tech is about, also apply tech into my own daily life, and also contribute to the world at large. Early this year, I was on the radio. I was talking about the girl child and tech. And one of the things I said was the fact that I feel it is essential for parents as well to also allow their children to explore the tech space, because it is something that is a little bit problematic, because in many homes, when girls carry their laptops to use their laptops, their parents do not even agree. So many times, and I know this is not just, parents would rather buy a laptop for their male child than buy one for their female child. And this is something that is problematic because they feel that boys should be more into engineering, should be more into computer. But I believe strongly that parents can be a pushing drive for girls and children alike, girl children alike, to be able to be part of this wonderful community of tech. I also feel that it is important for girls to be allowed to play games, because gaming is something that's revolutionizing, and gaming actually helps you to learn a lot. And this is something that many people do not understand, many parents do not understand, even adults do not understand. And so when they see people being in this niche, they feel it is something that is futile. So I always try to encourage, I do my best to encourage as many girls as I can, to organize as many workshops, talk shows as I can, to be able to tell girls like me that it is possible. And that is why I am amazed to see people like Anjali, Swara do amazing things, because I know it is possible. I am doing it. There are other girls around the world. And that is why when I heard that this opportunity was there, I had to take it by the balls and come up here to talk about it, because women, girls can do whatever they put their mind to. We are good. we can do tech, we can do engineering, we are great at STEM, and it has shown over the years that we are going to continually be a reckoning force to deal with. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Sophia, for sharing your thoughts. And yes, I do agree that together we all can bridge the digital divide gap that we are facing today. So once again, I would like to thank all our girl speakers for sharing their thoughts and their aspirations with us. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ms. Rajpal.
Thank you, Manisha. And a big thank you to all the girls to share their challenges to be in the field of STEM, coding, robotics, shattering the stereotypes. These are magnanimous stories of grit, determination, and success. More power to you girls, for a stellar future of technology and leadership awaits for you all. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Manisha and Nicholas. Moving on to our next panel of Herculean global industry experts. They shall share how we can together call for equal access to the internet and digital devices for girls and targeted investments to facilitate opportunities for girls to safely and meaningfully access, use, lead, and design technology. As we know, the theme for this year is digital generation, our generation. So without much ado, I would like to welcome our panelists for today. We have Dr. Ajay Garg, Senior Director, Ministry of IT and Electronics. Good evening, Dr. Garg.
Good evening, Pan. Thank you for inviting me.
Pleasure to have you here. We have Dr. Merit Moore. She is Forbes 30 under 30, a quantum physicist and a professional ballerina. Good evening, Merit.
Hi, everyone. It's amazing to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Mrs. Usha Poonawala, Chairperson FICCI Flow Pune. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, all.
Ms. Gayatri Chabria, Trustee Mukul Madhav Foundation. Hello, Gayatri.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Safiso, founder at Learn Smart Education. Hi, Safiso.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
And later on in the panel, we will be joined by Mrs. Ritu Induja Chabria, Managing Trustee, Mukul Madhav Foundation, and Ms. Kanta Singh, Country Program Manager for UN Women. So to begin with, Dr. Garg, thank you for always being a huge and consistent support to all the early stage innovations via hackathons, championships that, Robotics, Hack the Crisis India has been a part of. Since you work so closely with the government, and we all know, especially with Ministry of IT and Electronics, we would like to know that, this digital revolution that we talk about, and we certainly want it to be equal for girls. What is it that Government of India is taking in terms of steps for digital access and inclusion across technology and innovation?
Thank you, Payal. Let me first thank you for organizing this very, very important program for digital empowerment. So heartening to see that the men are a minority in all this session. So thank you once more, and I'll compliment the FICCI FLO for always taking an initiative that how tech can be women can be leveraged for tech. And it was a pleasure to be part of the first hackathon that you did during the first lockdown in India. And it was an amazing journey in which we all participated very actively, and it kept us busy and effective during the severest of lockdowns that this country had. Having said that, it's very important that gender equality or gender empowerment as such, and now the era has come where the men needs more empowerment than women, what I say very regularly. So in India, the women has been taking a very stellar role in promoting the future entrepreneurship, taking problems that actually affect women, affect society, affect children, and using tech to build solutions over it. And that has been one of the key learnings that I've seen in the last 2 to 3 years. And our Women Entrepreneurship Awards that we do every year, the last year we saw 80 great women providing solutions towards deep tech innovation. And this time, the event was even bigger, where around 200 leading tech entrepreneurs participated in this program, and we saw some very amazing solutions that women had. We were very also honored to be that the UN women also came forward in this. And what we are doing right now is not only recognizing them, but also taking them through an acceleration journey. As you understand that in India, the Indian IT industry has played one of the very important roles in women empowerment. More than 35% of the total workforce of 4.5 million plus in the IT industry, creating a global market of around $195 billion with 158 billion to be exports. 35% of the total workforce is women, and that's very heartening for seeing women empowerment in this very important sector, which contributes around 78% of the total India's GDP. In the pre-lockdown and the pre-COVID era, we took all steps that this workforce is kept secured, and they are provided all necessary means, and various state governments, including the central government, may ensure their security and safety to be primary, whether it has to be dedicated cabs. The industry took initiative that women cab drivers will be the only people transporting them, fixing very timings for the industry to handle it. But what I will be happy to show that as India moves from services to manufacturing, and the electronic manufacturing is taking grounded initiatives in India, some of the Indian manufacturing, or especially in the mobile and consumer good, are all women centers. The Foxconn has established a center in Trumula, specifically where all employees happen to be women, and we have given them special initiatives, incentives for this to happen. At the same time, what we saw when we saw an opportunity for work from home, which is a very important enabler, and when we saw that the connectivity and the divide due to connectivity has reduced considerably, and India has now considerable broadband connectivity, we enabled all processes that allow women and men both to work from home in the IT industry. Today, the majority of the IT industry actually is working from home. Even TCS today has 90% of their workforce working from home, and large number of them are women. What is important to know that when the industry moves in a much more decentralized scenario, women have a more important role to play. And when we look at the numbers of education and the results in the secondary level as well as the higher education, when we see that women outscore the men, they have got a very important role to play in the development of the economy. And whatever impediments there are related to women working in this very important tech sector is important. With the national policy on software product, we are ensuring that the women entrepreneurs, especially in the startup space, get special initiatives, get special grants, and we ensure that any seed fund that is provided, there is a dedicated section which specifically looks at problems related to women and women themselves solving these problems through an entrepreneurship ecosystem. And that's what we do. So what is important to understand that if the future belongs to to a community or to a half the sector which was actually deprived of many of the good, the connected world, the digital world actually provides them an opportunity to change the things that are happening. And India has been playing a leading role in terms of women actually leading the economic growth of future, and that is important. And we are happy to be part of this. FICCI FLO has been playing a very important role for women empowerment, and wish them all success towards this very important initiatives for national empowerment. Thank you, Payal, for giving me this opportunity.
For always so encouraging and inspiring towards all our initiatives. Thank you. On to our next panelist, Merit. You have a marvelous portfolio with passionate work in ballet, physics, quantum physics to be specific, and an astronaut background too. Your remarkable programming and dancing with robots is absolutely breathtaking. I don't know how many times we would have tapped on the video to watch it. And most certainly inspiring as well, with expertise in robotics and artificial intelligence, which will be the future in space and here on Earth as well. Our audience here is excited to hear how you proved arts and sciences should not be mutually exclusive, and what inspired you to do so?
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I'm so inspired by hearing everyone's story. And also it is motivating to hear about the challenges and you know, a lot of the things we do need to work on. Yeah, I grew up at being very much told that I could only pursue ballet or physics, and that definitely not both. And so I made the decision to quit dancing. Well, I've quit dancing many times throughout my career, but like definitely when I was at Harvard studying physics, I was told that I couldn't do it. And then when I was doing my PhD at Oxford, I was also again told. But I think when you have a passion and a drive for it, you find the time, and I just couldn't give it up. I just and then I think at my PhD, I thought like, the question kept coming to my mind where I was like, why not both? I've now done both for 10 years. But I kept hiding from the physics world that I danced and hid from the dance world that I did physics. And I was just like, you know what? I think at this point, I've done it enough that I can now be open about it and thinking about ways that art and science can come together, not just to communicate, but like to bring it together in a way that enhances the research. So now dancing with a robot and wanting to inspire and be like, yeah, for girls, I think sometimes they're turned off of tech and science because they're just given a textbook and being like, it's memorize and regurgitate, which is so boring. And I like being like, no, actually it's creative, it's fun. You can dance to Bruno Mars and Billie Eilish and still like be into tech. And so that's sort of my journey right now.
Thank you, Merit, so much. And what would be your, one message here to our audience? You heard how hard it was for the other girls as well, in terms of being in the field of STEM, robotics, technology. And what is it that you would like to, say to them?
Yeah, I mean, hearing their stories was remarkable. I would say, it's putting on the horse blinders. I call it horse blinders. People have their opinions, and you just have to be like, I don't know if it's the right way, but I tend to like nod and be like, when people are like, you can or can't do something, you just go, but then you just continue and do it your own way. And the big thing I think is to give yourself time. Is nowadays there's so much pressure to be brilliant right away. Like the first time you try something, you need to like be amazing. And I think if you love it and you just stick with it and just give yourself the amount of time that you need, because that's the only way. And do it in your own way. If I was going to learn this, what's the best way that I would learn it? And then do it that way.
Great, thank you, Merit. Moving on, we have our FICCI Flow chairperson, Ms. Zusha Poonawala. She's the Vice President of the All India LPG Distributors Federation and Senior VP for All India Bharat Gas Distribution, making her a first woman licensee for CNG in India. How, like, building on to what Dr. Garg said, that the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and which is the FICCI Ladies organization, has been working incessantly in the field of women empowerment and many initiatives for the girls as well. Would you like to touch upon what is it that FICCI is doing this year as well?
First and foremost, good evening to all of you here, and congratulations to the girls, to the young girls, and to the young women where, besides pursuing their interests, their professional interests, have also taken up to the passion of robotics. So congratulations to Goodness, Anjali, Swara, Gloria, Gayatri Pawar, and Sophia. And thank you so much for your appreciation, Mr. Garg, the Senior Director of Ministry of Information and Electronics. Thank you so much. I would like to start by a quote by the father of our nations, Mahatma Gandhi, who said that if non-violence is the law of our being, the future is with women. And that is the very vision that the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce, Flow Pune chapter shares. Women empowerment, as Mr. Garg rightly said, that yes, that's our vision. And we have taken a lot of initiatives towards the empowerment of not only the girl child, but also women empowerment on a larger scale. We are not only looking into the overall education of the girl child, but also empowering by skilling the women at our newly adopted village, which is the Pipri Sandan village, Pune. We started off with peach plantations. We are also having a workshop tomorrow itself on sexual harassment at workplace. We are also catering to the entire educational needs of the girl students at this school at our newly adopted village, and also skilling, right, like I said earlier, the women over there. We are also trying to promote and market the products that they have produced over there, for which they will be paid. So this will also take care of their sustainable livelihood and financial stability as well. We've also tied up with a Canadian organization through the Rotary International District 3131, which is known as the Children's Bliss Program, whereby the girl child in this village, the education right from the primary to till the time she passes out from school will be taken care of. So we are going to see the overall development of the girl child and the younger students health-wise and their family welfare, because until and unless the family is taken care of, the child is not going to be stable enough to pursue their professional and personal interests, even if it's like pursuing a passion or a hobby or robotics as well. I'm happy to see 2-3 girls from India doing so well, and congratulations to Payal Rajpal, who's our vertical head and youth projects, and she's spearheading this special project, which we are also contributing towards the robotics online workshop, which she will be conducting along with her team under youth projects. We also have another youngster who's also vertical head in agriculture, Gayatri Prakash Chabria. So with these youngsters, and I think FICCI Flow has a great future in working towards the betterment and improving the lives of the girl child right from day one that she attends school till she finishes school and goes on to a professional life as well. So that's what FICCI Flow is engineered towards, and we will continue to empower as many women as we can, and that will be our endeavor for times to come. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak over here and tell my mind out and the chapter's vision and the objective in empowering the girl child and women. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your support. And FICCI Flow Pune, as we all know, has been doing some marvelous work. So thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
moving on to our next panelist, Ms. Gayatri Prakash Chabria. She's trustee at Mukul Mother Foundation and manager marketing and strategy at Finolex. Gayatri, you have been working incessantly towards creating an impact on the community through various sustained and dedicated efforts at initiatives with the Mukul Mother Foundation, which we all know has been serving the society for the last 2 decades. You were also one of the co-founders for Hack the Crisis India, wherein we witnessed thousands of technological innovative solutions. So since the theme this year, we're talking about everything digital and how can our generation access it. Would love to hear your thoughts on, because when we say our generation, that's you and the students to begin with. So yes, would love to hear your thoughts on what should be a call to action, and what is it that you are doing at MMF as well?
Thank you, Payal. A very good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today on this very esteemed panel. It's an absolute honor to be here and sharing the stage. To start with, I'd like to just say that I'm truly inspired by the young speakers and hearing their stories and what they had to say. I completely resonate with Gloria and Sophia, who very rightly stated that gaming cannot be stereotyped basis gender. And needless to say that once women put their heart and head to something, they're more than capable of achieving. So I think, Payal, you said I should share my thoughts on what youngsters are doing or can do. I think Sophia, Gloria, and Gayatri and the others who are here are actually going to be leading the way for us. But moving to what we're doing at Mukul Mother Foundation, over the last 22 years, there have been umpteen initiatives that we have been leading and taking part in. Funnily enough, there's never been gender which has been at the forefront, right? We've always worked in community without necessary emphasis on whether it's for women or men. But I think more recently, there is this awareness where we all want to, I wouldn't say fight, but want to stand up for women because we can see a stark difference in the way that there is this differential treatment. And I hope that, sometime in our lifetimes, we'll actually come to a day where we will dilute days like International Men's and Women's Days. We'll actually just be celebrating humans who are there to support each other for each other's betterment. And just to highlight a couple of projects which I'm very proud of that the foundation has been supporting and leading from the front, have been the support to 300 odd widow farmers in a rural area in India, particularly in the state of Maharashtra, where we've supported their journey to be financially empowered. As Finolex, which is India's largest and only backward integrated manufacturing plant for PVC pipes and fittings, we've initiated a project wherein we're training girls to learn the skill set of being plumbers. And that apart, like you saw, we had one of our students from the school who came in to speak about her experiences, Swara Dambay, who represented the batch that you very kindly facilitated robotics for, who thoroughly enjoyed the experience that they've had. So I think going back to your question on what is it that our generation can do, I think it's about collaborating. We need to be working with like-minded people. We need to be open for conversation, to share ideas, to see how it is that we can support each other. And I don't think we can forget that it is men who play a very vital role to support and ensure that there is an ecosystem wherein we get their support to be able to push forward these initiatives and ideas. So a big thank you to them as well, to those who particularly stand up for such causes. And, it's an absolute pleasure to be sharing the stage once again with Dr. Garg, who's been an absolute support system right from 2020 when we did the hackathon during the lockdown. So thank you, Payal. That's all from me. I wouldn't like to take up much more of your time, but thank you very much for having me here today. And a huge round of applause to all the speakers who are here and the young girls. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri, and thank you for making our, male panelists feel a little better. Not be outnumbered. So thank you very much. Moving on, our next panelist for today, Safiso. Good evening.
Thank you,
and thank you for making our, male panelists feel a little bit. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, Safiso, apologies. So we were at a panel together literally a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the kind of gap which exists in the education society and what should one do to bridge the gap. And here we are again, but this time we're talking about, gender inclusiveness and digitization and reaching out to more girl child. So you've been making an impact in South Africa and Africa's education systems, which faces great inequality, and you're actively looking to correct this imbalance by implementing Education 5.0. It's a model that I read about, which looks to mold students into lifelong learners and build value-driven citizens. The edtech startup which you founded, Learn Smart Education, trains and educates students for the future of the world and work in order to thrive in the fourth industrial revolution. What we would really like to know today is, what is the ratio of, your female students in this edtech technology, courses that are offered versus, the male students, and what is it that you are doing for uplifting and encouraging girls and women in Africa and South Africa to be the forefront runners for technology? Safiso, you're on mute. Safiso, are you there? Manisha or Ayush, could you please ping him while we move ahead? Safiso, can you hear us?
Hi, yes, can everyone hear me? My greatest apologies. I'm having serious network issues this side.
Good to go. Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. So I'll begin. Thank you very much, Payal. I really do appreciate the introduction.
Okay. Manisha, did we lose him again?
Yes, I think there is some network issue.
Okay. Let's hard mute him, and I will get in the next panelist. So introducing our next panelist for today, Mrs. Ritu Prakash Chabria, Managing Trustee, Mukul Madhav Foundation, and a lady who has a great motto in life, which is live to give. Over the time, she has made a transformation in rural areas along with enhancing facilities in the urban setup. Mrs. Chabria strives towards mitigating the pain and suffering of the underprivileged. She's doing this by ensuring they have a quality education and through providing excellent healthcare facilities for these often sideline members of our society. Alongside this, she wants to improve the level of sanitation and support environmental issues such as water conservation by distilling of local rivers and encouraging the planting of trees in and around the Panelists factory premises and nationally as well. Mrs. Chabria, thank you so much for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule. And we would love to hear your thoughts about, Gayatri earlier did brief us about the various initiatives at Mukul Madhav Foundation, which are women and girl-centric led. We had, Swara from Mukul Madhav Vidyalaya, who spoke greatly about her dreams and her aspirations. So would really love to know your thoughts about, this year's dream of how the digital generation, which is our generation, wherein girls can be equal, inclusive in a world of technology.
Thank you, Payal. Thank you very much for that introduction, and thank you for having me here amongst friends that I have met and some friends that I have not met, but a pleasure to be here. And to answer your question, I think, yes, Gayatri's done a sort of a rundown of what we do and our initiatives. You've done a rundown of everything. So first and foremost, congratulations on bringing everyone on a platform to understand. Gayatri's done a sort of a rundown of what we do and our initiatives. You've done a rundown of everything. I think there's a little technical problem there, but no, it's been a great pleasure listening to all your panelists and understanding so much. And of course, we're very proud of our student and for the opportunity that she had. So I think I must pay compliments once again to the opportunity that came forth. And I'm glad that we did listen to you and we pushed it through, because we kept thinking, should we do it now? Should we do it at this stage? Does rural India accept it? But believe me, my eyes opened up to the fact that the more you give, the more they're willing to take. And there is an absorption that is happening. And I think, there's no time for it. It's now. The time is now, and we must stand up and we must react, and we must be able to be proactive in the way that we are not only giving to girls, but also to boys. I believe that we need to think about both and equal opportunities in both spectrum for girls and for boys. We're all now concentrating on girls by saying, girls empowerment, girls enhancement, girls income generation. We have to see that they find their position, but believe me, they have their position. It's just that we have to unravel it. We need to discover it. And they're sort of, if I may use the phrase, popping up more and more and more, because I think everyone's eyes and ears are opening up. I see this more and more in rural areas that we work in, rural India, is where parents now wanting to send their girl child to school. They're very, very happy to do so. They naturally do ask for certain things. For example, will they get a concession? Will they have an opportunity, any other opportunity? Will you offer any other, incentives? By this, what they mean is incentives of travel, perhaps. They're not asking for too much. They're just looking forward to transportation, looking forward to ensuring that they are safe and that there are things guaranteed when they let them out of their homes, which I think is quite understandable. So looking at what you've put in front of us here, Payal, and the opportunities that lie in front of us, I think collaborating with compassion for both spectrums, girls and boys, men and women, is a very healthy way of approaching the new life that we are all seeing. Since the pandemic, I think we've all been spending a lot of time behind the screen rather than physically. And these opportunities of internet availability, electricity in some areas, all these things have been challenging, but I think they make their way. We've done online schooling all through this pandemic. We've not put our hands up and shut down. We've been very, very active, except for the 6 weeks of the summer vacation between, February 2020 and June 2021. 6 weeks is what they got as vacation for summer. Other than that, we've been very, very active. So, and let me tell you, the attendance of girls has been higher than the boys. And they are definitely wanting to push their way ahead. But I keep saying that I want to make sure that equal opportunities, again, are there. And we need to understand this, that we are living in India, where the thought process and the first generation coming out for education are having a tough time to understand why education, why English, why. I mean, I've been asked, why do we have German in our schools for the last 6 years. So a foreign language, in addition to everything else that we do, I think bringing it down to rural makes a huge impact. And with all this, I think I've said enough, but I just want to say how happy I am that these opportunities are there, and we all need to rise to the occasion, grab the opportunity, adopt one of these children and make them go through the training as well as giving them the opportunity. I've seen a lot of our students at Mukul Madhav Vidyalaya who've absolutely loved it. They're actually waiting for a second step forward. Some who have tried it have not liked it. So having tasted and wanting to move on, I think I know now that I would definitely want to look at what you can bring for me, Payal, to Mukul Madhav Vidyalaya, and also how we can join hands with other like-minded people so that we can move on in this spectrum. Thank you for having me, Payal, and thank you for listening on to me. Thanks.
Thank you so much for your time. And it's always, one of those things where we reach out to you for some help, and you're always there. And this time around, you've seen the amazing, success that a few children have had at MMV at the championship, and we look forward to having them next year as well. So thank you again for your thoughts and your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on to our next panelist, Ms. Kanta Singh. Good evening, Ms. Singh.
Good evening, Payal. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
So Ms. Singh is Country Program Manager for UN Women. Ms. Singh, you are leading a major program on education, employment, and entrepreneurship for young women and women at UN. With over 20 years of multicultural experience in organizations such as UN Women, United Nations Development Program, Women Power Connect, the WPC. What we would love to know is, earlier this year, the Generation Equality Forum set technology and innovation as a priority in global conversations on gender equality. And we would like to hear, since you are so actively immersed with education and specifically, uplifting the girl child, would love to hear insights on equal access to the internet and digital devices for girls, and what are the targeted investments to facilitate equal opportunities for girls in technology?
Thank you, Payal. And I'm sure everybody understands the kind of girls and women that we work with across the globe. And these are the women probably, I think all of us are trying to address some of those gaps that exist in the haves and have-nots. Just to give you an idea about how UN Women is trying to support women and girls in terms of digital outreach. My program, for example, it's called Second Chance Education and Vocational Learning. And digital skills are part of the interventions that we plan. However, we noticed during COVID that it's not always easy. Girls, firstly, don't have access to technology the way we have here in Delhi and other cities. We work in some of the aspirational districts where having a smartphone for a girl child is an aspiration. It is not the reality right now. Maybe the whole family has one phone. Girls definitely don't have free access. And young women who are 15, 16, 17 definitely have to face a lot of issues when accessing phone, because everybody looks at them, and I think it's become a norm that they are supposed to be probably having boyfriends or they are chatting with somebody. So it's very complicated for women. Accessing school, accessing education through phone, it's a dream for them. We saw many women. We were traveling now to Orissa, some of the most backward districts of Orissa and some of the most backward districts of Rajasthan. Girls are not really benefiting from the digital space that all of us are trying to create. There's a long way. However, I think COVID also brought some opportunities for all of us, and where schools, where families, where government, where people like us who are working in the field have highlighted the need to make women and girls more, more savvy in terms of technology. It'll take time, but we have started the journey. Probably it was a crisis, but that crisis provided us with opportunities. And forget about girls. I also want to highlight the need for even teachers in rural areas to be able to communicate the way they should to the young women. Many of them are themselves not very smart to communicate through digital media. So I think people like us who are here in a space where probably we can influence policies, we can influence funding, we can also influence many people like us to come and address some of those gaps in rural areas. I think this is what you are trying to do. And I was it was so nice listening to many of the speakers who are also trying to do what they can do in a difficult period and in a difficult space. Now, from UN Women's side, we have been able to generate a lot of resources during the last event that happened in Paris. It will take time before those benefits reach women who deserve and who need. But definitely, the journey has started. There's a lot, in fact, that would happen in the coming years. I'm sure rural women will also benefit from that. But right now, it's quite challenging. The structural barriers that women and girls face in accessing these technologies still exist. And I'm sure these are more pronounced in some areas. But yeah, I think the journey has begun. That's what I will say. I don't want to stop at a negative note that things will not change. Things are going to change because we are all trying to do that. And people who are also speaking here today, I think everybody is trying to put in effort. Technology companies, Government of India, state governments, I think everybody is conscious and everybody is trying to fund and increase outreach. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Singh, for joining us on such short notice. We'll see you were in transit. Resonating with your thoughts completely when we face the same, similar issue in robotics in terms of digital device, single home devices with the students. And we are constantly, diligently working towards how step by step we can bridge this gap, especially in the K-12 sector. So thank you very much for your...
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And yes, wrapping up the event, we heard from the girl students earlier about the deepened gender divide, economic and social barriers to the internet and device access. And then we heard about the reassurance from the industry leaders on various movements made, commitments to build inclusive digital societies through providing equitable opportunities to girls, investing in feminist technology, and putting girls and young women at the center of designing and learning solutions for the digital world. So big gratitude to all our panelists today. Thank you for joining us and giving the inspiration to all our children, students here on the International Day of Girl Child. Before we depart, we will play a short video on how Robotics India has trained 20,000 underprivileged children from low socioeconomic backgrounds and the wonderful capstone projects that they've created in the areas of robotics, AI, coding, overcoming all the possible challenges that they have faced and shattering the stereotypes and emerging as successful individuals. So once again, thank you all. We can sign off from Zoom and we'll play the video at on the Facebook stage. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Payal Robotics. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you, Swara. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Nicholas.